because you don't have to go with this, but I wanted to show you at least. So in the variable tab, I have the ability here. I'll get rid of these other ones. Right? There's a couple things we can do. But I have the ability to create a string variable, and I'm just going to call this house mode, right? And it's a string. Now, what are my possible modes? Let's just say that I've got home, away, party. You could do vocation, romance, whatever, but let's just for purposes of, okay, home, away, party. Yeah? So, what I'm going to do now, too, is introduce you, I think we talked a little bit about the concept of a macro, but I'm going to create a home macro, I'm going to create an away macro, and I'm going to create a party macro. Now, these macros are easy. You just name them on the agent, and then you come down to programming, and you tell them what they do. Like, what does my home macro do? And then you go over the action side and do it. It sets the thermostat to this. It sets my lighting to this. It sets my door locks to this. You know what I mean? You just go in and make your home macro. Same thing with what does my away or my night macro do. We could actually add one more, right? Let's add new, and call it good night. What's my good night macro do? Well, I go down to program, I choose good night here, and then I fill it out, whatever it does. It sets my alarm system. You guys know that if you have a security panel, and you can go straight to the security panel and you can arm it, right? So I could do an arm to stay, and put that in. Right? I could do change LED colors, change
Can you put
whatever.
your lighting scenes inside your macros too?
Yeah, so I could come over here and launch a good night lighting scene, right? Which would leave the patio on and activate that. Right? So the idea. So you get it, right? Everybody cool with what I've done so far? Now let me show you where it comes in handy. So I'm going to create some custom buttons to launch these modes. I have a custom button in this project, right, that is called house mode. You remember this? I think I showed you on the day when I partied. Well, let me get rid of legacy functionality here. I have a home, away, good night, and party custom button. Okay? This is how I have physically put my house into these different modes. We good? Well, what I can do now programmatically is I can just, when home is pressed, I can come over to my new house mode variable that we created and simply set the string value to whatever I'm pressing. For example, I pressed the home custom button. What did I set my string variable to? Home, right? Just the alphanumeric value of home. It is case sensitive, so I made the H uppercase. Well, what am I going to set it to when I press the away custom button? Away. Okay, I come over here and set the value of the variable to away. And now if I come down here to good night, I set the value of that variable to good night, right, and then to party, and we'll just stop there. Okay? Now, unbeknownst to you, every time I've been pressing this button, I've been changing the value of the variable. I have been getting something triggering over here. You know what it is? It's called when variable changes. See, I can come over here to the house mode variable and I get this event. What is this event? Remember we're event-based? We need something to trigger. So every time I've been pressing the button, putting it from home to party to good night, that has been triggering. The house mode variable changes. So what I can do is get the system to now evaluate. Right? If it's home, if it's away, if it's good night, if it's party.
And then you execute the match.
And then what am I going to, exactly, thank you. So now I just come down here, all in one location, right? I just say, well, if it's home, execute the home macro. If it happens to be away, then execute the away macro. If it's the good night, execute the good night macro. And then I go in and change those macros, edit them if I want something else to occur. But this is a very simple, easy way. Now I don't have to worry, did I put that flag up? Remember to put the flag back down, right? It's just a clean way of doing these house modes. So I thought I'd at least show you an example of the string. Want to see where else the string comes in handy? Now, remember class, you're not being tested on all this, okay? Let me show you where the string can come in handy. I've got this email notification, and I'm going to make one, and I'm going to call it battery warning. I got a lot of the card access battery products in my house. I have a little battery warning. I'm going to send this to me, right? So 801-555-1212 at btext.com.
That is not your number.
Subject is battery warning. Okay, and in the body, what I can do now, look at this for a minute. I actually could say your, and then place down here from the variables, whatever string, right into this text. So, we're going to just say for a moment this, where we are, and I'm going to leave now to create another variable. This is going to be a new variable, it's going to be a string, and it's going to be called battery device. And this is a string. Okay? So now I have this thing available to me, and whenever a device goes low in programming, you can come, for example, even the SR250, right? I could come down and say, you know, when that guy gets below 20%, go over to our new variable, and name, just simply name, which battery. This is the, you know, theater remote. Okay?
I noticed you're not putting spaces in.
It doesn't matter. It's alphanumeric. It can handle anything. It is case sensitive though. You just have to make sure you format it the same way. So now we come down, what are some other battery devices? Well, obviously that card access, this guy has battery critical, right? Or battery low. Either one of these can be a trigger. So then I go over to this variable and I say laundry wash, right? And I put this in the script. So now when I go back and edit that email notification further, I can actually add inside my battery warning your, and then go and grab that variable, which is down here now. See where it says battery device? I can put that in there. So your, whatever it is low, or is critical, or is, you know, needs attention. Right? And then I save it. Now when does the email trigger? Well, anytime this is going to trigger, it's going to name this variable, right?
Change of state.
Well, when that variable changes state, then this is going to trigger. When battery device changes, and this is where I then come over to my email notification and launch my battery warning. Right? So now you get a little text notification that says, ooh, garage motion sensor.
Will it,
Then you only have to make one email notification, right? And for all the battery devices in the plane.
Is it just gonna send it once, if you don't change it?
Yeah, you could send a flag, right? You could do a flag that when this sends, to put the flag up, meaning that nothing else now will send.
Right. If not, will it resend it every day?
Yeah, whenever it registers that. And some of those devices, like the remote, like our system remote, it will
Yeah, I was gonna say, how much
the
will it?
reason
matter?
under 20%, it goes nuts. Why? Anybody know?
Because it's probably drawing how much.
Yeah, because it's a
running.
CPN device, and if you let it go all the way, it doesn't have the ability to recover. It gets lost in a couch, it's lost, right? You couldn't even do the double tap to chirp it, right? Because so when he goes down below 20, he goes, hey, you sure you want me to be this low? Oh, wow. And he starts squawking more often.
So can you show that string again, how you, so you put all the battery devices under the battery device variable, or I'm trying to?
Yeah, so again, we made a variable, right?
He made a variable that's blank.
And I call that, it's just a string, it'll hold anything,
Okay.
So
right?
It's blank.
Right, and then what happens, the actual battery device names it when it goes low. So all these devices have battery triggers on them,
Sure.
right? So I just said, look, when it's 20%, go over to that variable that we just kind of a placeholder and give it the name theater remote. Right? Okay, so the battery went low, it named the variable. As soon as this happened, then this triggered over here.
Oh, I see, so you're just taking the
Right.
device.
So this
creating
guy
the name.
triggers whenever that name changes. It's a string, and if it
And
goes
so
from
whenever
one
one of
name to
these
another.
fires, the string enters it into the,
That's right. It
Yeah,
enters it
exactly.
into our email notification, which right here, when I was editing, that's where that variable is.
so, okay, so that's when it populates the string.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
So variables are just generic. It's a placeholder.
It's placeholder. It's a bucket.
That makes sense.
Sorry, guys. Again, you
No,
see
you're
where
good.
you can begin to add dimension to the functionality
That's
here?
great.
But we don't really want to hold you accountable in this simple installer class, because you're just still getting used to the basics of it. Nor do we want to confuse you and make you feel on your first job that you went, right? Look, get out there, do some lighting scenes, do some press a button, play music. Don't overkill, right? Some of you are actually going to be happy that you got everything identified and working and not going to do any programming. You're going to go, I think we're done, give me money. Right? But I think the truth be told is, over time, you'll find a happy medium, which you know are really good lifestyle benefit programming examples that you can do, right? I showed Dean, I'm trying to get our company to help me publish. I've got a book called 55 Ways to Personalize Your Home Automation. But I think what they want me to do is write that for your customer. That's what they weren't that interested in me showing you a recipe book. And I said, look, anybody I show this to wants it,
You should just self-publish.
right? Well, that may end up happening. I
That's
think
the
I'm
best
gonna
way
go
to
do
do
a
it.
blog site and then do that.
Mr. I love you readers.
'Cause, what I'll do there is just like charge, you know, $8 for it. or
I have a couple of
something.
clients who are just self-published people,
Yeah,
and they make a freaking load of money.
yeah,
That's what you should, just self-publish it.
I'm thinking of it. But anyway, I'll go straight after the forum. Hey, go to this link, my book's available $8.
Dude, totally, just
It's
send,
very
just put it on
easy to put
Amazon,
it.
it's a piece of cake, just
Don't
get find
need
your
to do
printer,
that.
Yeah.
have it printed, they'll take your Word file, they'll print it for you, bam, you're done. And it's, you know, it costs you $1 or $1.50
It's
a
even
book.
simpler. Have them pay for it, send it to me as a PDF, and don't even have any training costs.
Yeah. The download for the Kindle or whatever.
No, just send it as PDF.
Well, no, just send us PDF, just send
Yeah,
it
you
to
know what'd be
website.
really cool though, if I do like, what do they call those,